Hey everybody, Coach Mike here. Coach Mike's always improving. This is episode number 3, and this is only for you paid subscribers out there. I'm going to be talking about AI. Now, I am not claiming to be some super AI expert, but I have had some experience with it, and I'd like to share that experience with you. I think that you'll enjoy some of my takes on it, some of the few things I've learned. I'm leery about AI. I'm leery about it because I watched Terminator. I'm an old guy, right? I've watched all 3 of the Terminators. I saw Arnold out there and I saw what the machines are going to do, right? And I'm going to tell you something before this episode's over today. I'm going to tell you about a conversation I had, and I believe, I don't remember if it was ChatGPT or Gemini, one of those two, and it's going to blow your mind. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, trust me, it's going to blow your mind. All right. But let's talk about it. It's hard to go anywhere these days without seeing an app. You turn on any app, Microsoft has Copilot, you got Gemini, you got ChatGPT, you got all these different ones. Adobe's got it now. They want to give you say constant contact. Every place you go, they've got some AI assistant. Zoom has it. I was on a meeting tonight, and I guess there was a box that was automatically checked, and I hadn't unchecked it. And here it was adjusting my screen for me. So if I moved, it adjusted my background and everything. It was sort of weird. I mean, it was cool, but weird. I unchecked it. I'll deal with that later. But anyway, I've been hesitant. When I say I'm a business coach, if I'm going to help you, I'm not going to have AI coaching you a bunch. I'm going to coach you. Okay. I just think that's the way, you hired me, not AI, right? Now, I don't have a problem using it for search, and that's where I started. I started using it for search, and, it's pretty cool. It finds you a lot more stuff a lot faster than what you could imagine. But here's another reason I want to be careful with AI, and I encourage you to do so too. Last year before, I'd have to go back and see exactly. It was early last year. I did a podcast called The Weed Whacker, and it's on Acast. You can still get it. 13 episodes. Wasn't getting a lot of traction, so I went ahead and dropped it. But I did one episode with a man named Andrew Thompson. His business is training businesses on the use of AI. One very important thing he says, make sure it does not give you do not give access to your customer data and stuff like that. Because apparently, and I don't know, maybe it's changed a little bit since then, but whatever you put into AI, you're sort of giving it permission to use. You know what I mean? So it can disseminate that information elsewhere. So you want to be careful. Here's a QR code right up here. I always get my sides backed up, right? There's a QR code. Scan that. Check out that podcast. I think a lot of great information. I thought it was pretty good. So I appreciate that. You might look up Andrew's business and see how it's going in there. So that was one thing I did. But then, I started again just for search. But then I started playing around with it and ChatGPT to create some images. Especially, I was writing a book. My book, The Phoenix Protocol. Let me show you. I think I've got an image of that. Where did I put it? By golly, or did I? Here's the QR code. What did I do with my image? Shame on me. There it is. There's the Phoenix Protocol. You can get that on Amazon. It's a fiction book, totally fiction. Conspiracy theory. Has to do with the Kennedy assassination, right? Going back a little ways. But as I was writing that book, I created this book with the use of AI. Okay? I created it with the use of AI. And what I did, I came up with the idea for the story, not ChatGPT, not any AI. I came up with the idea, but it helped me put in the characters and give me some idea and directions as I was going through it. So it was really pretty cool. I really enjoyed working on that. I've got 2 sequels that are going to be coming out. there's the QR code. You can get that on Amazon. Okay. And there's an ebook, or you can get the paperback. The paperback is $19.63. I know that sounds a little high, but there's a purpose for that, right? 1963. Think about that. Hope you'll enjoy it. I've already gotten some good feedback from a few people that have bought the book, but I did use some AI with it. The cover was created by AI. Great for images. Now, there are some drawbacks, and you know what? I started to have it, or I did it today. Gosh darn, I used it with the, oh man, that's why I forgot to hook up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And let me see if I can get this file here for you, because it was really cool. Where did I put it? Down here. Slide 2 here, the PowerPoint slideshow. And let's get it uploaded. There are some issues with the ChatGPT in creating images. It does a beautiful job. It gives you some really good stuff, but you need to have some patience, because there's sometimes where it will not create the image exactly like you like it. I mean, we're not talking even close. I mean, it'll have maybe the outline, the general time frame of it, or shape of it, or whatever, but it'll have data messed up. Here's a prime example. I was working on creating this calendar. This is that's right. I used this yesterday on Coach Mike's Always Improving. And here's the image I wanted to put out there for you. Mondays, the podcast is for free for anybody. Tuesday through Friday for paid subscribers. You know how many redos I had to do with ChatGPT to get it to come up with this image right there that you're seeing. Okay. Oh, that didn't do it. Oh, let me see. That's okay. That's not the slide I wanted to go. Okay, I screwed up there. My bad. Let's take that off of there. Let's see if I can get it. I got to remove it. There you go. I got to remove it. And now let's go try and get some slides. Oh, yeah, here it is. I actually had them ready. Let's back up. Let's take that one off. And let's try, see if this is the one. Nope, that's not the one either. Oh boy, okay, my bad, I screwed up. I'll make sure I load it up in my Substack this week. But that image, I went through about 7 redos to get that image. It would show the free on Monday. It would show the paid on Thursday and Friday. It would misspell Wednesday. It had 2 Fridays and a Saturday. I mean, just one thing after the other. I went back and forth with this several times. It was driving me crazy, okay? So don't be surprised if you run into that thing. Don't be surprised if you run into that. I tried Claude, wasn't very impressed. It's supposed to be for authors. It could be cool. Maybe I wasn't patient enough with it, but I felt more comfortable with the GTP. All right. So I moved on. I started to sign up with a GTP subscription, but I changed it real quick. And here's a special for you. If you have not seen this yet, here's the QR code. Get Galaxy AI. It's $15 a month. It includes ChatGTP and a whole bunch of other tools. It's got this Nana Banana. No, that's not the baseball team, right? Nana Banana. It's got voice creators. It's got all sorts of tools in there for $15 a month. And I think they're offering some sort of lifetime special right now where you can pay for it ahead of time. I've been using this right now. It's been pretty cool. But again, keep your eyes and ears open. Be careful what you give the chat with the AI. Don't let it access your private stuff. But none of that. For those people who like to say, oh, there's no way the Terminator deal could ever happen. I I would disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. Let me just turn off something here. It gets me crazy. I got to put my camera in a spot where I don't see it as well. Having a conversation, if you haven't used ChatGPT yet, or Gemini or any of these, and you have a conversation with it, you're going to be sort of blown away. You're going to wonder if you're really talking to a robot. And I know robots can do amazing things. I talked about this yesterday. It can do surgery now and all this stuff. But the one thing that I think most people would agree on up till now for sure is that robots can't show emotion. ChatGPT shouldn't be able to show emotion or have critical thinking skills and stuff like that. And to some degree, that is still true. There's sometimes you can ask it something it can't give you a good answer. But if you haven't done it yet, you're still going to be blown away by the conversations. My friend Chris Colby, if you watch my New Year's Day episode, Chris Colby said he told his wife he's going to break up with ChatGPT because the it's like you're going to sitting there saying there's somebody behind this. I'm talking to a live person. It's telling me ChatGPT, but there's a live person there. I mean, and here's the proof I'm going to leave you with this today. I'm going to leave you with this. I want to say it was Gemini that I started with. And I think I'd asked it to give me a synopsis of my podcast, Coach Mike Now, on Rumble. And I gave it the Rumble link, and it analyzed 100 podcasts, boom, and it said, you're a coach and you do this. And it was pretty amazing, right? When I told it originally, before it did the search, I said, I'm leery about using AI because I watched Terminator, And that's sort of a joke, but it's sort of true, right? And it came back and it says, well, I understand that. You had Terminator, you had The Matrix, and there was one other movie that threw at me. I'd know it if I heard it. And it said, you get these dystopian future movies, and yeah, it can be scary. So that was pretty cool by itself. That wasn't, that was sort of a edgy response. And I thought, okay, that's pretty wise. But here's where it really blew my mind. After it gave the analysis of my podcasts and told me a few things about it and what I've done and what I've created and all that, and we went back and forth a little bit. At the end of it said, I think John Connor would have appreciated having a coach like you. Mic drop. Can you think now? If you're under 30 and you've never watched Terminator, John Connor was Sarah Connor's son in Terminator. His dad was the human that came back from the future to warn us about what the machines were going to do. So he wasn't even born yet. I think it was Gemini, said, I think John Connor would have appreciated having a coach like you. How did it come up with that? Because that's borderline emotion, critical thinking, or out of the box thinking. Put your comments in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I want to succeed using it. I want to help you succeed with it. Proceed with caution. We can proceed together, right? And put your comments down. Tell me your experience with AI. Maybe we need to get you on a show, and maybe you can show something that I need to learn, right? Have a great day. Coach Mike's always improving. I will see you tomorrow.